Barrett Realty's 52 weeks of promoting people and places continues. This week, Bank of the Ozarks.
Tony Barrett with Barrett Realty, and the group of Barrett Realty is here today to continue our promotion of 52 weeks of promoting people and places. And today we're at the Bank of the Ozarks, and we're getting ready to go inside and interview Jason and Seth from the bank.
With Barrett Realty, and I'm here with Seth and Jason from Bank of the Ozarks, and we're promoting our 52 weeks of people and places. And I have a few questions to ask them both. So Seth, tell us a little bit about Bank of the Ozarks.
Bank of the Ozarks is, well, for me, it's the Starbucks coffee and the cookies on Fridays. That's
Nice.
Bank of the Ozarks for me. But no, Bank of the Ozarks is a regional bank. We're headquartered in Arkansas, and we go as far west as Arkansas and as far north as New York. We actually have an office in New York City. We specialize in consumer lending, business lending, take care of your personal financial needs or business needs from A to Z, and we work with business partners too. If it's not something we service in-house, we have business partners we work with, but we focus on if you need money or you want to deposit money, we're your bank. So we want to be there to help.
Great. Jason, how many local locations do you have?
Yep, we have 7 Manatee County locations, and we have 1 Sarasota location locally. We have about 20 locations in the St. Pete, Tampa area. A couple down, I think there's 5 or 6 down Fort Myers to Naples, and then we have 6 locations over in Miami.
Awesome. Does Bank of the Ozarks have any ATMs?
We do. We have ATMs in all of our locations, and we also have an ATM in the Red Barn Flea Market.
Awesome. How did you get your start in banking, Seth?
I got my start a little over 8 years ago. A friend of mine who worked with a bank in Orlando, I'm from Orlando, and said, have you ever thought about banking? And I said, well, I haven't, but tell me about it. He goes, well, you build relationships and you help people with their financial goals. And I said, well, that sounds good. Why don't I give it a try? And started off as a personal banker, and within a few months was promoted to a regional sales role, and then kept moving up and into management. And so just started with a friend through my church who said, have you thought about banking? And I started to think about it. There you go.
And what about you?
I actually started about 12 years ago in banking. I was in the retail world, in the big box retail world, and had my first daughter and worked my first Christmas season in retail. And after that, a good mentor and friend of mine said, hey, have you ever thought about banking instead of retail? And just right time, right place, and got in, and it was for a lot of the same reasons Seth talked about, as far as being able to help people with their finances and meet financial goals, and felt like it was life-changing type stuff.
And how long have you both been with Bank of the Ozarks?
2 months. Yeah, I just started in November.
Yeah. I'm going on about 5.5 months, so not much longer than Seth.
All right. Seth, tell us a little bit more about yourself. What are your hobbies or interests?
I'm a big sports fan. I love sports. I played football and baseball in college, and now I love to exercise. And now that I'm here in Bradenton, bought a kayak, so I love going out in the water. Went out on our holiday on Monday out in Tampa Bay and on the kayak. I love to golf, jog. So I'm a big sports fanatic and a huge Ohio State football fan. Go Buckeyes.
Go
And
Bucks.
so those are a lot of my hobbies, just being outdoors and enjoying athletics.
And Jason?
Yep, so a lot of my free time is spent with my 2 daughters. I have a 12-year-old who is an East Manatee Bulldog. She was on the 4th ranked national cheerleading squad with the East Manatee Bulldogs. And I also have today is her birthday 5-year-old.
Aww.
So yeah, So we start T-ball here in a couple weeks with her. I coach T-ball. All my free time is either spent A, playing sports myself, or B, with the girls and their activities and their sports. And then also, I can't leave my wife out. I've been married 10 years, so yeah.
Very nice. Are you both originally from Florida, or where are you from?
I.O.
Born in Columbus, Ohio, but moved to Florida when I was 3. But I was born in Ohio, but grew up in the Orlando area until recently moving to Bradenton.
I grew up in Northeast Ohio, from Akron, and I moved to Florida about 8 years ago. We lived in the Central Florida area for about 7 years, and then about 2 years ago we moved over here to Bradenton.
Great. Either of you, what advice would you give for someone who's either old or new, older or newer with banking? What advice would you give for personal banking or finance?
Don't buy a downtown Orlando condo during the real estate boom. Don't do that. Steer clear of that. Run from that if prices are going. No, financially, be wise. Day-to-day banking. Utilize the resources that banks provide. Mobile banking, online banking. Utilize all that. You got to. I check my accounts, everything in the morning, just for knowing what's there and taking place. But also know how to manage your debts and your deposits and what you have going on. Don't over leverage yourself. Still take risk. I'm all for risk, but you gotta just be smart and stay on top of it. And if there's a trend, maybe think of other options too, outside of trends, just to protect yourself.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing when it comes to your personal finance is planning, goal setting, and budgeting. So making sure that you have a budget that you stick to every month, write it down, stick to it, and stay with it. And then also setting financial goals. So, what the long-term goals are, whether it's buying a house or retiring or sending your kids to school, whatever it may be, always keep that big picture in mind and set a plan and stick to it.
Is there any other tips or information you would like to share when we wrap up our interview with us?
Tips or other information?
Bank of the Ozarks. You have a friend here, that's our motto.
Yeah.
And I started off with the Starbucks coffee, and we offer that in our branches. That's and the cookies. I'm a food connoisseur, but tips is with banking is do work, build partners in the banking industry. Right. Even though so much is done online now, on your phone, it's so valuable to have a relationship with a bank or a banker. Or so my tip would be obviously choose Bank of the Ozarks, but you build those relationships when you're in need, or if there's an issue or you need something. If you have that relationship, you can get access to key people to help you with that, rather than if you're faceless, that's hard when you might need something. But that would be my tip, is get to know your local branch and the people there, and utilize them as a resource to help you grow in your personal finances and your business finances, but really do that. Great.
Well, thank you both so much
for
your time today.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate it.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
She got the pageant wave.
No.